So I didn't start my vlog in the normal way today because the dark cabin of the car it doesn't really come out too good on the GoPro. So I thought I'd change things up, and I thought I'd kick off with talking about some maintenance. So it was raining yesterday morning, so I ended up not going for a ride. So I did one of the bigger jobs on the bike. It's just a need to, and some people go there, do a lot of Ks on their bike and then not do this at all. And that's servicing the rear triangle of the bike and all the linkages. I put a time lapse up on YouTube for anyone that's interested. I actually found it quite enjoyable to watch, to be honest. I don't really like watching myself. Don't know about you guys. So, especially with a carbon bike, what happens is when you're riding up those hills, you hear those ticks and cracks and creaks. And for me, it's something I find excruciatingly frustrating. But it also means, and this applies to alloy bikes as well, you've actually got grit in there, in those linkage points in your bike. Now that can't be doing any good for your bike. So it's really a really good idea. For me, I ride quite a lot, so every 2 to 3 months I service all of that, pull it apart, clean it with isopropyl alcohol, re-lube it, re-Loctite it, everything to torque. You know, when I'm doing this, I've always got the manual in front of me and I'm actually doing every bolt to appropriate torque. Some people, and I won't name any fat people, as a really fat guy that rides with us, he's actually not that fat at all, but you know, he supposedly used to be fat, but he's known as the Fatman, and he's a good guy. But his bike, it's a bloody epic race machine, this thing that he's got, and it has times he's been doing some servicing. I'll give him that high five, good on him. And he services his son's bike, and his son's like such a good rider. He's really going well, and he's doing a lot of riding, so there's a lot of service to be had there. So when you've got a couple of bikes to do, it's pretty hard. But there's times where his seat will be creaking or his shock will be creaking, and we all give him shit. So we all guilt him into servicing his bike. So a little shout out to you there, Fat Man. But I saw you doing some maintenance yesterday, so good on you. So I'm going to check out something a little bit different today. I'm going to drop into Sir Bishop, but I'm going to check out Ripper's Run. So I haven't done that one before, so I will probably be going a little bit slower. I think it's after the jump line, so I'll hit the jump line. I'll be skipping one of the 4 because I find chaining all 4 of them together just doesn't work for me. So I've only hit the last one there once, so let's hit that again. That was pretty cool last time I hit that. There we go. Looks like it hasn't been ridden much, so there might be a bit of debris. Oh, awesome. I like checking out new stuff. So I'm riding this blind. I'll go easy. Little drop here. Tight corners, nice. What have we got here? Jump. Oh, nice. Looks like it's chewed out a bit though. Oh, so there. Oh man, I've got to show you this. This is, oh, it freaks me out. I've only seen this once, but it's this slow tech corner into this chute. Just put my bike somewhere, it's not going to fall over. So this crazy, it's a really nice berm here. It's just a catch berm. But look at that. So, and that is like, I'm gonna show you going into that. It is like slow tech into that drop. But I reckon once you just hit it, you'd be all right. Just straight off there. So by the time you land, you know, you're probably dropping 6 foot in height, which is not necessarily worse than anything else. But when you got some speed into that, it ain't so bad. But here, so you come flying down along this trail. Up here, you'd want to try and get up high, I reckon. But then you've got drop into a turn, and then straight off that. That's just intense. And that's definitely the faster line because it's more direct down to the trail. Whereas you go the other way, that is cool. That is something for me to aspire to. Not today. I think it's one of those ones I'd like to see someone do it. Sometimes that's all I need. There's certain features that'll mess with me, and then I finally build up the courage to do it. And there's been plenty of them here, and it's really just not bad at all. But there's always something to it, like the entry's techie, or the exit's techie, or there's a massive precarious boulder right in the middle of it. There's always things along those lines. It's nice and clean. I do have an obsession with my bike and this sport. I absolutely love it. Now, up ahead, there is supposed to be, if I'm in the right spot. Oh, look at this drop. Oh man. That is cool. Just into rocky chunder. Even that's not too bad. Wait, I'll try and show you that. That's not too bad, but you want to be at trail speed, it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Even the beeline here is sort of chunky. So, yeah, the beeline's no problem. But, man, this trail's cool. So this is I believe this is the DH, State DH Champs trail. So I probably need to start practicing all the crazy features on this, because if I'm going to enter it, I at least want to be doing all the features. I won't necessarily be doing them fast. Little drop here, rock roller drop. Oh, this is a cool trail. Not sure why there's a beeline around that. Wait to make a little bit of noise there. Now, down here, it's supposed to get pretty off camber. Let's check it out. So I'm going slow here. Imagine this at speed, off camber. This is cool. Chunky rock garden. Nice. Someone lost their bottle there. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Never quite got enough speed for this. That was fun. All right, pro line, drop into, I think, shake and bake. I did it the other day and I just had the worst run, lost my chain, picked up a rock, took a bit of a chunk out of my bash guard, opened it all up to have a look. Thankfully everything's okay. These are the perils of having a carbon bike. Those things are terrifying. All right, let's do this. Whew, that felt like a good run. Flogged. That was a super physical run today. That last run down Shake and Bake felt pretty good actually. I felt like I was pretty fast. It's such a good trail, good mix of descents, chunky stuff, and there's a bit of a pedal in there as well, so you got to work for it and really pump through those trails and pump through the trail and pick some good lines. I'm going to incorporate a little thing that I've put together for making coffees in my next vlog. So I went to Threadbow, Jindabyne and Threadbow for one of the boys trips, and I ended up tagging along with Keir and his troopy. And Keir is pretty much completely self-sufficient. The poor guy's celiac, and he's got the full coffee set up, little percolator, a little cooker, a tiny little burner that goes onto the butane can, and it is just so good. So I pretty much stole all the methods from him, and I've got my little coffee go bag, so I can make, you know, roadside percolated espresso, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm actually going to show you guys that on my on one of my next vlogs, just for something different, and you can sort of see how that's all set up, and then you can steal what I stole from Keir, which is probably what he stole from somebody else. Have a good week, everybody.